Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my stream yet again. Um, it's good to see you all. Whoever comes in, whoever does not, whatever. Right, you're always welcome. Today, I decided to start reading a little bit of the some of the articles that I wrote before. They are something that I wrote not so long ago, and I just would like to share them with you to see your ideas, to see what you think. They're not too long. Some of them, I would say, maybe even like 3 4 minutes long maximum. Um, it just I would like to read them to you, and I would like to see what your thoughts about it, and see what you think about the topic itself. If you like the topic, sure, I would like to hear your opinion on it as well. Again, I'm open for debating. I'm open to idea sharing. Then I would like to go all over like exactly what tone means, right? So let me see. I'm gonna read you one of my most how can I put most famous articles out there. I would like to tell you about this one. It's about my birthday when I was approximately 5 to 6 years old. So here we go. Just listen and see, and let's see what you think about it, right? So here I go. Why I don't tell people my birthday. When I was 5 years old, I remember my parents and I were living in a small two-bed old Soviet style apartment back in Kazakhstan. My dad was in his late 20s at the time. If I'm not mistaken, 27 or 28 years old. My mom was around 25 or 26 at the time. After my father kidnapping me, which happened honestly, so that's another long story. I would like to get into it later on to you. That's gonna most likely take the whole stream, but we'll get back to it. But yes, something like that did happen, and don't misunderstand. It's just my dad did it out of love. But anyway, so my parents reconciled, and we all became a happy little family again. My father was able to land a job at a major company, which helped him to buy this small apartment. I remember when we were doing the renovations there, we didn't have any furniture, so we slept on the floor. I barely spoke Russian at the time because I was literally raised in Turkey by my aunts and grandparents, so I had to learn from ground up. I started watching cartoons in Russian to figure it out. In fact, sometimes when I would watch some movies, I would hear the characters cussing. I would memorize it, think it sounds funny, and say it to my dad. He would get obviously angry, yet I was thinking I would make him proud by memorizing difficult vocabulary. So, yes, for instance, sukin sen, pidaras, и так далее. So, words like that, those are Russian. Those are cuss words, obviously, like swear words. And I did them a lot. So, yeah. Anyways, because of the lack of the language, I did not have any friends. My sixth birthday was coming up, and honestly, because my father put all of his money in that small nest of ours, including the renovations, we literally were broke for a short while. I remember my father one day coming to me with a cake in his hand and saying, "I'm sorry for celebrating your birthday like this year, son. I promise we will have a big celebration next year." I asked, "Will I have a lot of friends, Dad?" He seemed sad. After hearing this question, he said, "Of course you will, I promise." I still remember that I wanted to cry, but I did not want to make my father sad. I held it in, just blew the candles, and ate my birthday cake. Strangely, over the years, I did not put any meaning into birthday celebrations. They seemed unnecessary, like unnecessarily expensive and time to time waste to me, right? This mindset rubbed off on my little brother as well. Even though my father tried to celebrate it a few times, after we rejected the idea of it, he stopped asking us about it. The fact that I remembered that specific part of my life so clearly after 21 years had passed, that means it was a great lesson for me. The fact that I remembered that specific part of my life so clearly after 21 years had passed, that means it was a great lesson for me. Oh shit. I read it again. I'm so sorry. I just realized it. I just thought about something else. Okay. A lesson on what family means, how important my father was to me, and I didn't need any friends. All I need is family. Maybe there was another side to this story. Maybe I was just scared of having my heart broken when people I consider friends won't show up to the party, or that they forget my birthday altogether. Whatever the case is, it made me stronger. It made me who I am today, as I believe every single event, no matter how small or how big they are, they all make you who you are today. Do you know why I do not tell people my birthday? Because I do not need their acknowledgement or happiness for me being born when I have my family. Let's be completely blunt here. Your family are the only people in your life who will be happy for your birth. Maybe somewhere along the way, if you find yourself a loyal and loving soulmate, they will be happy for your birth. Christopher Walken said it the best. If you know how quickly people forget the dead, you will stop living to impress people. I repeat it again. I just would like you to keep that quote memorized because that's, I believe, from where I'm coming from, that quote is very important for you to keep in mind. And what the hell? Martha, would you like many viewers? Let me make you popular. No, thank you. I don't need to be popular with your games, bro. Shut the hell up. Anyway, Christopher Walken, I would say you Google him, said, if you know how quickly people forget the dead, you will stop living to impress people. My personal suggestion would be just sit and write down your whole life, every single detail that comes to your mind. I promise you, the more you write, the more you will remember things that you forgot to happen to you in the past. I realized my family's sacrifice for me, especially my father's, after I wrote about it. I remember even coming up to him and saying, damn, you really went through hell for us. My dad, with his regular voice, even said, good morning, sunshine. Finally, you started seeing shit. I believe me understanding his struggles was the best gift I could give him, right? All together. After all, aren't we all just chase the feeling of being appreciated by someone? So where I'm coming from over here is that back back when you're younger, does not matter. It can be your father, it can be your mother. For me, it always had been my father, right? Throughout my childhood, even until now, it always had been my. I would say if I do have a weakness for someone in this family, it's gonna be only for two people. It's gonna be for my little brother and for my father, right? And the amount of sacrifices that my father did for me, I realized them clearly after first I turned 25, got a little bit older, and after I wrote about it, right? So many things you will not remember until you actually take a pen or pencil and just write it down. I promise you, once you start writing all of this, you'll realize that most of the people that had so much impact in your life, you had so many people in your life, right? And it's like, and by the way, that does not matter how old are you, right? I'm 26. I wrote my whole life down. It took me about, I'll tell you, it took me about like 1 month to write to finish it down, right? It was about, I believe, 40,000 words that I wrote, and it was it was great experience. I took all of my childhood pictures, family pictures that we had, and so many great memories were lost in my head. Sometimes you get depressed, right? And you remember only bad things in your life while you forget the good things that happened to you, and you go like, I've never happened I never in my life something good happened to me. And that's the mindset that you go on with. But at the same time, whenever you write something, whenever you write all of your memories, you say, oh my gosh, I had so much good things, so many good things happen to me. Why am I so sad? Why am I so depressed? All of us have stories in our lives, right? All of us have our own troubles. No one can come up to someone and tell him, I lived my life harsher than you ever did. That's going to be completely stupid to do something like that. We all are living our own troubles, living our own lives, and we all have our own stories, right? Some of us might have grew up in the streets, right? The same way I did. Some of us might have grew up in a rich family and still had their own circumstances that they come up with. And you can't blame nobody for what they're going through. Obviously, there are people that may be exaggerating sometimes their hardships, the same way I told you, comparing themselves to the others. And that's going to be, I promise you, either you try to tell those people to not do something like that, or you just completely cut them off. I mean, I don't care what you've been through unless you're someone that I'm close with, or I genuinely would like to listen to your story, right? And that's the way I see it. I did have my own stuff and did my fair share of adventure in my life, right? And like Jim Rohn says, life is an adventure, right? Life is just like changing seasons, right? Now, if you listen to one of his most famous seminars, you'll see it over there. He says life is like changing seasons. Like there's winter, summer, fall, like autumn and spring, and whenever people live through their summer, spring period, and whenever it comes to fall, like it hits September and people start crumbling, and you just think, why would you do something like that, right? Like, why would you start crumbling? You just started. Your life has just begun, and you'll have so many more winters in your life, so many more autumns in your life that you'll have to just go past through them. Like it's you have to be strong. Nobody's gonna be strong for you. Nobody's gonna defend you. Nobody ever defended me in my life. Whenever I would get depressed, my little brother would come at me and he would slap me. He would be like, "Get your shit together." You know why he would say that? He would say that exactly because I'm his brother and I'm the eldest son in the family, and I have to be strong for my family. Some of you might not agree with this mindset, for instance, but that's what in reality is, and that's how I see it. My father is old. I cannot ask my father to keep looking after me, my mom, my grandparents, my little brother. He's getting old, and me asking him after to look after all of us is gonna be stupid. I'm gonna be nothing more than a, how can I put it? There was this word, I forgot what it was called. Freeloader of the family, right? Yep, I am from Texas. How did you know that? Maybe I mentioned it a lot, but Yep. I am from Texas. Okay. Water gave me away. But yeah, I am from Texas. I appreciate you saying. But yeah, water is from Costco. Affordable water. Anyway, now, by the way, I would suggest you guys start using the word affordable instead of cheap. That makes, even in sales, your job easier. That's what I did. Well, yeah. So just, you know, life is so much fun, especially when, you just live through everything. You see so many things in your life. Bro, like, I'll tell you what, I changed countries 3 times. I was born in Kazakhstan. And my dad then kidnapped me. That's a long story. I told you I'll tell you guys that in the next stream. My dad had to kidnap me from Kazakhstan to Turkey. I lived with my grandparents and my aunts for a while, and then I went back to Kazakhstan. I lived in Kazakhstan again for a while. Then I turned 12 and I went to Turkey. Then lived in Turkey again for a while. Couldn't even finish the what do you call it? I couldn't even finish my school over there, high school, and because of political reasons. And then I had to go back to Turkey. I'm so sorry, Kazakhstan. I finished my school over there and I came here. So that's long story short. And I was 17 when I came to the United States. I'm 26 right now. It's almost has been like 10 years. It's like nine something years now. And honestly, I do have some certain accent in English. I just do not know how to, fix it. But I'm working on. I appreciate, man. I appreciate. Thanks so much. Let me tell you this. Life sure is going. I mean, here's the deal, right? When I came to this country, it was hard. I did not know English properly. I remember even some homeless guy talking to me in a straight Southern accent. It was hard for me to even understand a single thing what he said, right? But overall, later on, I figured out honestly. In fact, the thing that I did, most of the immigrants that I do not agree with that don't do that. I'm completely against it. They work only with their own people, and I do believe that's a stupid decision. With my, although I did go to the college over here, I still my English was not as good because most of the people in my college was always also speaking Russian and Turkish, so it was not easy for me to build up my work on my English at all. So what I did was I decided, you know what, let me work for American company. Like, why not, right? So at that point, I was already legally here. It's another long story. I'll tell you guys again. Um, I started working at 7-Eleven for $11 an hour. So I was making $11 an hour. I was like, you know what, let me work there. I worked there for a while. Then in my previous streams, I actually told you guys how I met a gentleman that actually held my hand and helped me start working at the Bucky's, right? I worked at the Bucky's for a little more than a year. Um, and Bucky's actually was a great, how can I put it? It was a great opportunity for me to improve my English because, especially for the amount of country people that would come to the Bucky's, it would be impossible. So you would obviously take up some proverbs as well because they like to speak that way. Amazing people. I mean, I have not really had any problems working over there. I genuinely do love working at Bucky's, and I have to tell you, that at Bucky's they are very strict. But if you don't get your shit together over there, you'll get your ass fired. I've seen so many people getting fired over there just because they would get late for 1 minute or something like that, right? Then I decided to, you know what? I'm about to finish my college. I was making good money. Buckets does pay good. Like for a student, it was like $18 an hour. And I went to work at Bucky's. No, then I left to work at the car sales. So I managed to get myself into Nissan. I sold cars for like approximately 11 months, roughly, I would say, closer to a year. And it came up to me naturally, right? Most likely, if you, some of you guys might know Wolf of the Wall Street, Jordan Belfort. He talks about a lot. There are natural closers, and there are people that actually build up the skill of closing. So I was a natural closer, so it didn't take me even 2 weeks to start selling cars. Usually, it takes people um, to like approximately a month to, or from month to 3 months to get used to how to sell cars, right? Or sell anything for that matter. And it took me for only 2 weeks. And it's just because of my nature of talking a lot. I mean, if you go back to my previous videos, I had zero views, no comments whatsoever. I would just talk to the camera nonstop, just as if I'm talking to you guys right now, right? So what, bro? Like I'm telling Bucky's properly, bro. What the hell? Shit. Anyway, so I sold cars there in there for a while. I was actually one of the top three salesmen in the dealership. Top three, top four. Um, it's car sales is fun, in a sense. It would remind you some scenes from the Wolf of the Wall Street, in the sense of like how they rile you up. Like especially on Saturday mornings, it was we had a sales director over there that would do stuff like that, right, Mr. Loab? I do appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, it came naturally. Like I never trained it, and honestly, being a salesman did did help me a lot. Building the skill of talking on how to present, right? Then I just then I decided, you know what, like I do not want to work for someone, right? I mean, we all do have that point in our lifetime where we say, you know what, I'm tired of listening to someone or being scared of someone. Like maybe some of you guys do, but some of you might not, and it's just a matter of your personality, right? But with my personality, I just do not like being in constant pressure by someone that, although I do my job, right? So then I was like, you know what, let me do some consulting. I did consulting. Oh shoot. What's RGB, bro? Uh, talk to me in normal English. I'm old man. Like, and wait a second. Um, oh yeah, it's Five Fine or whatever. I got it from Amazon. That I had a good deal on that. Anyway, so then I decided, you know what? Let me do some sales consulting. And I did some sales consulting for one company. In fact, for one Turkish. I do. I do actually. I'm thinking of purchasing a professional one. It just honestly, the reason why I got this mic and this honestly setup, it was not. I was not planning to stream anything. Right. I'll be honest with you. It was in fact my close friend, very close friend Breezy, my brother. He said, "You know what? You gotta do it." He said, and my cousins as well. They told me you're gonna be entertaining if you would talk, right? So I was like, let me try. Let me try. I mean, so that's why I was like, let me just spend a little bit. I don't want to spend too much. It's if I'm not gonna commit to it. So I was like, you know what? Here I am right now, right? It's what, sixth or seventh video right now. I'm still working on it. So just give me some time. I'll definitely build it up more. In fact, in some videos I will do it outside. It's gonna be to the place that I go to the place that I talk to, right? In fact, I'm soon thinking of starting. How can I put it? A place where I'll be talking to people. So I will be basically talking to a lot of people in front. So I'll be on the stage, and I'm thinking of starting that, and hopefully maybe help people that same as me. came here with nothing and started to grow into something. It's it's not an easy journey, but it's a journey, and I would like to share my experiences with people and maybe motivate them. If I could just give some kind of idea to a single person, that would be more than enough for me. Obviously, my first speeches are gonna be completely free. I'm not gonna charge nobody. But I am a certified life coach. I gotta tell you that. So yeah. But anyway, that's not the question, and that's not the point. So um, I did build a sales department for one company, and then I left. It was per my contract. It was for a short period of time. I made a lot of good connections, networking over there, and it helped me a lot. And honestly, connections and networking is all about follow up, and it's the same repetitive thinking, right? So the more you repeat something, the more you achieve something good, right? And that's exactly what I did. Uh, Now I do have two companies with my father. I am starting right now. In fact, just recently, one company is going to be both life coaching and at the same time it's going to be sales consulting. In fact, some people, if they would like to, I obviously do teach the sales consulting over there as well. Obviously, my first client was the company that I told you guys about. So yeah, that's what I did. Um, is it hard? It is honestly extremely hard. You Because especially when you first start, right? You do not know what you do. It's something like I remember me and my friend Breezy. In fact, me and him were gonna be doing that company together. That sales consulting and what do you call it? Life coaching company. It's gonna be our joint company. He's gonna be my partner, and we at first we could not decide. I appreciate it. Yes, it is hard, and I appreciate you pressing me. In fact, I need people like that because when someone presses you, right, like pushes you towards something, that's actually helpful. I mean, why not? Obviously, if they push you to a good thing, so and you push me to a good thing, and I do appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, you do start. Our biggest problem at first, I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I will do better. I will do. I promise you. Next time you'll see me, I'll be on the stage. So yeah, I mean, it all starts with with just one thing, and then it continues. It goes on and on. I apologize. Let me open that door for my cat. So yeah, it all starts, like from one idea. The idea we came up with together. We thought about it together. Um, we just came up with something, right? So it all comes up with an idea. Then we thought about, you know what? Why not get an office? An office would make us look legit. Why not, right? So the reason why then we stopped, I said, like Breezy, let's think about it. Let's think about it, man. Let's think about it a little bit. He said, yes, I thought the same thing. Let's think about it. Let's not rush too much. And we decided not to rush. And you know what? The obvious conclusion we came up with, it can be a little bit early to it. So we can do obviously everything online right now. Meetings like and talking to the people and stuff like um, renting spaces to get rope people. I mean, you can always do that. That's not going to be too expensive. Maybe a couple of $100, right? So you can always do that. So, oh yeah, no, obviously, look. So although I share with you, I don't share everything with you, obviously for obvious goddamn reasons. But I do. I would like to let you guys know in a sense, right? So in a sense of like what am I exactly doing with my life? Um, Not everything, obviously. I never told you the name of my company. I don't know. I don't know, but I do appreciate it. I do fucking appreciate it. I thank you for real. Like I'm not even joking right now. I do appreciate your help. Oh shit, I would always would like to expect see you over here too. Shit, in the future when I'll have a couple of thousand viewers over here, at least I'll see you all the time. I will not forget your name. I promise you. Um, so yeah, I mean that's my goal for now. Here's the deal: life is hard. Life is all about how you improve yourself. There are a lot of for instance, books I would like to for you to try and read. Or if you don't like reading, some people don't like reading, and I understand that I can't really force anybody. But I would suggest you at least to read audio and like listen to audiobook of it, or at least like the summaries of it on YouTube. There are usually there are most likely any there are many like summaries of many popular books on YouTube, and you can literally just type them up and listen to them, and that's gonna help you. You can do that when you're driving instead of listening to music, right? I mean, I already read every day, bro. I read like in just I do read slow. I just finished like my fifth book the other day uh, for the last 6 months now. No, not 6 months. I apologize. I'm lying. It's been 4 or 5 months. The Selfish Gene. Let me see. Let me see. Maybe I saw it somewhere. What is it about? Let me check real quick. I am curious. Presents a gene-centered view of evolution, arguing that natural selection acts on genes, which use organisms as survival machines for replication. It explains how seemingly altruistic behaviors can rise from selfish genes introduced to. Actually, fuck, I like it. I like the idea of it. I'm definitely buying it. I will read it. I will definitely read it. And next time you ask me, I'll tell you exactly what it is. Here's the deal. I'm a little bit open about the relationship. I personally do not like to. I'm so sorry, not relationship, religion. I don't really like talking about religion, and the reason for that is because I prefer not. That's the only reason. And but I would like to read it. I do find it interesting. I do read a lot of philosophical books. In fact, my favorite philosopher is Friedrich Nietzsche. My favorite of all time, honestly. Um, yeah, but still, I mean, I have nothing against atheists. In fact, one of my close friends back in high school was an atheist, and uh, yeah, so there are a lot of stuff. But I do suggest you, for instance, if you like stuff like that. Not sure if you have, for instance, if you're thinking of opening your own company in the future, for instance, I do suggest you read this one. It's a book by John C. Maxwell, and it's about the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. It's an amazing book. It's an amazing book, and I freaking love it. If you wanna, I mean, is it Nietzsche? I do believe it's not about only nihilism. He's also, how can I put it? He puts the world in a more open-minded perspective, in my opinion. That's how I see his work. He shows you other ways to look at the world, and that's how I think he talks about it. It's actually pretty interesting the way he presents it as well, and and that's what I like about it, right? um Honestly, I like meditations. I read all the like, unlike most of the philosophy books readers, I do not stick to one, for instance, um philosophical ideology and stick to it and just go with it. No, I prefer to read all of them because all of them have their own unique ideas. I mean, those ideas had been around for centuries or like maybe decades, many of them, right? And that's interesting. For instance, my favorite one is Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. Um, I can relate to him. I love it because I've done martial arts myself almost my whole life. In fact, I still do train. I did boxing for 12 years. Uh, yeah, in fact, I did even wrestling back in high school as well. So that's why I guess I could relate to Five Rings a little bit more than other philosophical books, right? In a sense, because it's Miyamoto Musashi talking about his whole life. He's talking writing that shit in the cave at 60 motherfucking years old. That guy was a fucking monster, and I love it. All right. So, in fact, I do believe everybody should strive to become like Miyamoto Musashi, and that's what I love about it, right? So, I mean, yeah, there are a lot of beautiful books out there. I do, you know. Oh yeah, yeah. I also did write a book too. I also did write a book too. Here you go. This is my book. I wrote it. I mean, it's mostly about the collections of the way I view the world. I am thinking actually of compiling all of my articles and just fixing them up and also making them in a book as well. Um, yep, uh, that's that's what I wrote about. And if you guys one day will have a chance, I would like to hear your opinion about my book as well. Yeah, as you know, unlike most of the fantasy genres out there. By the way, thank you, Ezip 101, for reading my book. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. And yeah, so that's what life is about, like it's so here's the deal. In the end day I talked with with my brother Breezy, right? And I told him one thing. I said, you know what? Why all of the most successful people had hit the deep, like the bottom ground, like they were at minus, and they somehow climbed up and became successful. The way I view it is because they grabbed everything that they could. Like any opportunity, they tried everything until something worked. So I do believe that's the case most of the time. I did have my fair share of hardships. Most of the close people to me know him. I did have fun with it, honestly. And yeah, so I do hope you guys will think about it. The today's stream is coming to an end. I know I'm not doing too long of streams. I do hope to make them longer soon. It's just I'm a little bit busy at the moment and working on other stuff as I mentioned. So that's why I'm keeping my streams a little bit short, 40 minutes. I do believe for just chatting is not bad unless you're a political like streamer like I know other big guys out there. I'm not, so I don't really like talking politics a lot. Um, it's not that I don't follow it; it's just I don't like talking with it because I do believe it divides people for no reason. Um, that's why I prefer just talking about self improvement, self development. I do think that politics is stupid. That no matter what you do, either way, it's not gonna change nothing. It's not that you can change anything. It's not. It's that by you talking to me over here or me talking about politics, it's not gonna change. So, yeah, I would love to do that with you. Thought without being an asshole. Yeah, I mean, uh, shit. So here's the deal, right? I am not aggressive person. I am open minded. I would like to listen to anybody. I don't mind listening to ideas and thoughts of other people. In fact, I welcome it. The reason for that is because um, outside of work, I'm pretty asocial person. I do talk a lot, but it's usually either my family, my little brother, or my uh, other family with Breezy and his brothers. Right, I love them. Amazing people, my closest friends out there, bro. And yeah, other than that, I don't talk a lot. But like whenever you talk with someone that you enjoy talking, it's just it comes out naturally. And yeah, so that's all I wanted to say, honestly. And I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, about what would you like to hear about me more doing in the future going on forward. I do know that right now I just read my articles or maybe my stories sometimes. Not sure. I hope you do enjoy them because I sure do. As at least in telling them to you, and hearing your thoughts and what you think about them does make me feel better. In a sense of I do feel like it's like a therapy for me. It's like a as I mentioned before in my previous streams that it's more of a share recording my ideas. we all would like to record something, and I do believe that some people are just more comfortable in front of the camera and some are not. I am working on it. I do think that I do get better in it. From I mean, compared to first ones, on the first one I was nervous as hell, but not now. Now I'm cool. But yeah, in general, yep. Yeah, I mean, we can do this collect. I mean, shit. You can give me your Discord. We can open it and we can talk about it. I don't mind. And we can talk about what would like to have. I mean, you guys are always welcome to chat your like write in the chat your ideas and everything. I would like to listen to your ideas as well as I mentioned. And yeah, so all I wanted to say today was this. Thanks so much, guys, for sticking around. I do really appreciate it. I do really appreciate the fact that you guys listen to me. Um, I do think that life goes on no matter what. I do wish you the best in your life. I do know that all of you and whoever you are behind the screen, you are capable of achieving whatever the heck you want. And this life has no restrictions, you know? And if I did it, if I'm making it, bro, there's no reason for any of you out there trying to make the same thing as I did. And that's a fact, and that's life. And life is like a video game. I'm a big gamer, at least I used to be. And if you're a gamer, you know that sometimes, like in games like Dark Soul or Elden Ring, you don't get good stats or you don't get good equipment, but you still try to make it to the final boss, right? So it's like the same thing. And I do hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. I do hope to see you guys again in my next stream. And I appreciate it a lot for you sticking with me again. You guys take care. Thank you.